Welcome to the channel, guys. We're back again, and today we're going to talk about Single Malt by Kilian. So stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, if you like the video, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps support my channel, and I do appreciate it a lot. Single Malt by Kilian was released in 2015, and the top note is plum, the middle note is wheat, and the base notes are cedar, vanilla, and tulip balsam. Personally, I was very excited to try this one out because I do really enjoy boozy fragrances and I love whiskey. So I really enjoy rye whiskey, Japanese whiskey. I'm not really a big fan of Scotch, and I actually don't like the smell of Scotch too much. So I tried this one with some reservations, but I was excited. And ultimately, I do really enjoy this one. This one opens up extremely boozy. To me, it smells actually like someone has just poured a glass of whiskey right in front of you, at least for the first few minutes. It's very intensely boozy. And I'm happy that it doesn't really, to me, smell a lot like a Scotch whiskey. This reminds me a lot more of a rye whiskey, specifically a Canadian rye whiskey, something like Crown Royal or something like that. It has this very nice boozy element. It's also quite sweet, a little bit syrupy. So if you're familiar with Apple Brandy by Kilian, this one has that similar syrupy quality to it. Now that one's more of a boozy, syrupy green apple, whereas this one is not. It's a very nice, sweet, syrupy rye whiskey accord. Now I do also pick up a little bit of the cedar in the opening. It's not particularly strong, but it certainly gives a bit of the wood cask vibe, as if you're sort of smelling the rye whiskey in a cask. So it has this nice woody quality backing it up. It's not particularly strong to me in the opening, and it is certainly overpowered by the sweet boozy aroma. And I do also get a nice bit of that plum. So the plum is sort of the star of the opening, with a very nice, sweet, fruity accord that is backed up by a little bit of cedar and a very strong boozy quality. The booziness doesn't last that long. Now, it does, of course, continue to smell boozy, but the intense boozy of the first few minutes certainly dies down quite quickly. And it does maintain that booziness, but a lot of the other elements, like the sweetness and the cedar, start to come out a little bit more, and you don't get as much of that booziness, which creates a very nice, beautiful, classy fragrance. Very enjoyable opening. And if you do like rye whiskey, I certainly think this is an opening you're going to enjoy quite a bit. Now on the dry down, this one is definitely less boozy, although I do definitely get some of the booziness. A lot of the sweetness from the vanilla and the plum really take the center stage, although I find the plum to sort of switch in and out of the focus. It is definitely the main player. The cedar is still in the background, which is a little unfortunate. This is the one thing I probably would change about this fragrance, is adding a little bit more woodiness, because I really do like that cedar when it's present. That sort of cedar cask filled with whiskey is an amazing scent profile. So this one does dry down very similar. It is fairly linear. It gets a little less boozy, and the plum certainly takes the center stage with the vanilla in the dry down, and the wood stays generally in the background. The performance of this one is also quite good. So it's a fairly subtle scent. I don't get a lot of projection out of it, although it is certainly something someone's not going to have to get too close to smell. So it does have some projection, creating a nice scent bubble. And the longevity on this is quite nice. So I do get around 8 hours, which is generally my personal standard to be happy. I'm happy with 8 hours, and I'm definitely happy with the performance on this one. Especially when you're paying those Kilian price tags, you want something that performs, and this one performs quite well. So I was not disappointed at all with the performance. Now overall, this is a really great boozy fragrance. If you like boozy fragrances, especially if you like whiskey, this is going to be one that you want to check out. Smells a lot like rye whiskey in the opening. Dries down nice and sweet and boozy as well. So I do really enjoy that a lot. Now I think this is definitely best suited for fall, maybe the winter, and definitely it's very good for a more close encounter. This is a seductive scent. It's very sensual, and it has that very seductive booziness as well. Now, I could see this one also being dressed up a little bit because it is a very high quality fragrance, And personally, this is the kind of thing I would wear to work. Probably wouldn't advise that for most people. Some people might think that you're an alcoholic or something. I don't mind that, or if people think that, because I do love this fragrance and I love Boozy fragrances. And honestly, there's so much going on with it that most people are probably not going to think you're drunk. But again, if you wear it to work, wear it at your own risk. I'm not advising it. It's just something that I personally would enjoy doing. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. If you're a fan of Boozy fragrances by Kilian, Single Malt is an excellent, excellent choice. Go out there, get your nose on it, see if you like it. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video.